Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into something, I guess you could say a little different this time.
Yeah.
The Apocalypse Unsealed by James M. Price.
Ah, yes.
Now, you might be thinking, the apocalypse, isn't that all about, fire and brimstone and the end of the world?
All right.
But Price.
Price has a completely different take on it.
Yeah.
What's really fascinating about Price is that he doesn't see the apocalypse as a prediction of doom, but as an allegory, a guide to unlocking your spiritual potential.
Interesting.
He claims the book is actually about spiritual awakening, hidden powers, and even achieving a second birth, a spiritual rebirth.
Whoa, hold on a second.
Yeah.
He's saying that the apocalypse is not about some future event.
Exactly.
It's like an instruction manual for our own spiritual growth.
Exactly. Price argues that the apocalypse's wild imagery and symbolism were intentionally used to conceal this knowledge from the uninitiated. It's like a secret code, meant only for those ready to receive it.
So it's almost like those hidden messages in a video game.
That's a great way to put it.
But they're hidden in these ancient scriptures.
Yeah, and Price believed that over time, this esoteric knowledge was lost due to political and religious influences that pushed a more literal interpretation of the Bible.
Okay, so Price wants to decode this hidden meaning.
Right.
Wants us to see the apocalypse as a guide to self-development. But how do we even begin to unravel this mystery?
Well, he provides a framework for understanding this knowledge.
Okay.
A framework built around the concept of four worlds.
Four worlds.
Now, these aren't physical places, but levels of existence.
Got it.
Or consciousness.
Okay.
Think of it like this.
Yeah.
You have a body corresponding to each of these worlds.
Okay.
Meaning your physical existence is only one part of your being.
Wait, so I have multiple bodies.
The highest level is the archetypal world.
Okay.
The realm of pure ideas. And the logos, the divine source of everything.
Gotcha.
Then there's the psychic world, where our thoughts and emotions reside.
Yeah.
And of course we have the material world, the physical reality we experience every day.
Yeah, that makes sense. But what about that fourth world?
Right.
The phantasmal world.
The phantasmal world.
It sounds a bit spooky.
It can be.
Yeah.
It's the realm of shadows, illusions, and negative psychic energies.
Right.
A dumping ground for all the negative stuff we create in our minds.
So it's like the shadow self we hear about in psychology.
You could say that.
But like on a cosmic scale.
Yeah. And Price argues that every single thing in the universe, from the tiniest atom to the stars, is alive and conscious in some way.
So there's no such thing as like dead matter.
That's right.
That's a pretty radical idea.
It is.
It makes you reconsider how you interact with the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this idea of everything being alive and conscious leads us to the next key element of Price's interpretation. The chakras.
Chakras. I've heard of them.
Right.
But how do they fit into the apocalypse and this whole system of four worlds?
Price focuses on the 7 major chakras, which he calls life centers.
Okay.
He sees them as the key to unlocking our spiritual powers.
Okay.
Each chakra corresponds to a specific level of consciousness and energy within us.
So are these chakras like portals between these different worlds?
That's a great way to visualize it.
Connecting our physical and spiritual selves.
Yeah, and within this system, Price places a special emphasis on the canarium, which is the pineal gland, better known as the third eye.
Right.
He connects this gland directly to seership, or what we might call psychic abilities.
Ah, the third eye. Always shrouded in mystery.
Right.
So Price is saying this tiny gland...
He believes it plays a crucial role.
...is the key to unlocking these hidden powers?
Yes. And then there's Kundalini, which Price refers to as spirema.
Spirema?
Imagine it as a raw, dormant energy located at the base of the spine.
Yeah.
Often depicted as a coiled serpent.
Okay. I've heard of Kundalini yoga.
Right.
But I'm not sure I fully grasp what it is.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
Kundalini is a powerful energy that, when awakened, can rise up through the chakras, gaining strength and power with each step.
So as this energy moves up, it activates each chakra.
That's the idea.
It's like flipping a switch.
Yeah.
And that's what leads to these expanded states of awareness and even psychic abilities.
That's the idea.
Interesting.
And Price describes the awakening of Kundalini as leading to extraordinary experiences.
Okay.
Seeing psychic colors, hearing spiritual sounds, even a merging of the senses.
That sounds intense.
It's a pretty wild ride.
Yeah.
But he doesn't just leave it at that.
Right.
He connects these experiences back to the apocalypse.
He does.
He maps these stages of seership onto specific elements in the apocalypse.
Wow.
He connects them to the 7 breaths, representing lunar forces,
right,
and the 5 winds, representing solar forces.
Right.
Both of these are associated with the zodiac.
Wait, so he's saying our birth charts,
according to Price,
are like a roadmap for this initiation process.
The zodiac signs symbolize the relationship between our physical bodies.
Wow, that's fascinating.
And the cosmic forces at play.
Yeah.
It's like a cosmic blueprint for human potential, showing how these energies influence our spiritual journey.
So he's pulling from biblical studies.
He certainly is.
Eastern mysticism and even astrology. It's like he's piecing together this giant multi-dimensional puzzle.
And one of the most intriguing pieces of this puzzle is his interpretation of the city Foursquare, described in the Apocalypse.
The city Foursquare, what is that all about?
It's this vision of a perfect cubical city with specific measurements. 12,000 stadia on each side, with a wall 144 cubits high.
Okay.
So Price says it's not a literal city at all.
Right. If it's not a real city, what is it?
He believes it's a representation of the solar body, or aura, unfolded into the shape of a cross.
Interesting.
Symbolizing the human form.
Okay.
It's a powerful image of spiritual perfection, wholeness, and the potential we all hold within.
So the city isn't out there somewhere.
Exactly.
It's within each of us.
Price is encouraging us to look inward.
Whoa. That's a mind-bending concept.
To recognize that the true kingdom of heaven lies within ourselves.
Okay, so we have these 4 worlds. The chakras, Kundalini energy, and this symbolic city within us.
Right.
That's a lot to process.
It is.
But the Apocalypse also mentions these 7 mysterious societies.
Right.
Right. What's Price's take on those?
He connects them directly to the 7 chakras.
He does?
Claiming each society's characteristics and even their names offer clues about the corresponding chakra.
Gotcha.
And its role in our spiritual development.
So it's like each society represents a stage of development.
You got it.
A specific set of challenges and lessons we encounter on the path to spiritual awakening.
Yes.
This is so intriguing.
It is.
Can you give us just one example, just to whet our appetites?
Absolutely. Take the Society of Ephesus, for instance.
Okay.
It's associated with the sacral chakra and linked to Diana, the world mother, who represents the creative force of Kundalini.
Oh, wow.
The society is warned against losing its first love, representing the initial spark of spiritual connection.
So it's a reminder to stay connected to that inner source.
Precisely.
To nurture that spark, even amidst the challenges and distractions of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is just one example.
Okay.
Price meticulously analyzes each society, revealing a complex tapestry of symbolism and meaning that illuminates the path to spiritual awakening.
Wow. He must have spent years poring over these texts.
He certainly did.
Connecting the dots between ancient wisdom traditions and biblical symbolism.
Yeah. But it doesn't stop there.
Right. Of course not with Price.
He also uses numerology to decode the apocalypse's deeper meaning.
Numerology?
Yeah, he points out that the numerical value of the lamb, representing Jesus, is 888, while the value of the red dragon, representing Satan, is 555. It's like a cosmic math equation, pointing to a larger truth.
So he's saying there's a numerical code embedded within the apocalypse.
That's right.
And these numbers hold a symbolic significance.
Price suggests that the remaining spaces in this numerical puzzle represent the cross and the good serpent, symbolizing the regenerative force of Kundalini. He doesn't fully explain it, leaving it as a mystery for us to explore.
So he's giving us a treasure map. But he's leaving the treasure for us to find.
He provides the framework.
He does.
But he encourages us to dig deeper. To make our own connections. And discover the hidden truths for ourselves.
This is already so much to take in.
It is a lot.
You got these 4 worlds. They have chakras, Kundalini energy, the symbolic city Foursquare, the 7 societies, and now numerology.
It's a lot to unpack.
But I have a feeling we've only just scratched the surface.
You're right about that.
Of what Prize has to offer.
In the next part, we'll delve into the heart of the apocalypse.
Okay.
The enigmatic scroll.
Yeah.
Its 7 seals. And the dramatic unveiling of its hidden message.
Oh, I can't wait.
This is where things get really interesting.
I bet.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we all need a moment to let this all sink in.
It's a lot to digest.
Yeah, it's not every day we get to reimagine the apocalypse as a guide to spiritual awakening.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is really interesting.
It is a fascinating take.
It is.
Yeah. So remember that scroll sealed with 7 seals we talked about?
Yeah.
Price sees it as representing the human body itself.
Oh, really?
It's described as being written inside and at the back, referring to the nervous systems, and sealed with those 7 seals, representing the 7 major chakras.
So the scroll's like a blueprint of our being.
Precisely.
And the seals are locks on our hidden potential.
Precisely. And the opening of each seal corresponds to the awakening of a chakra and all the intense experiences that come with it.
Okay.
Price believes the Book of Revelation is actually describing a real process of initiation.
Hold on. Initiation.
Yeah.
Like some kind of secret society ritual.
Not quite like that, though there are parallels.
Okay.
He believed the apocalypse reveals a specific process of spiritual initiation.
Okay.
A series of steps you take to awaken your higher self.
Gotcha.
It's about a personal transformation.
Right.
Not joining a club.
Right. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So if the apocalypse is like a map for this spiritual journey, where does it all begin?
It all starts with awareness. With recognizing the spiritual reality beyond the material world.
Okay.
Price describes how Iowanis, representing anyone on this path, receives a vision from the anointed Isus, which symbolizes the higher mind, urging him to share this knowledge with others.
So it starts with a calling?
Exactly.
A sense of purpose drawing you towards this spiritual path.
Yeah, like something clicks.
Yeah.
And you realize there's more to life than meets the eye.
Exactly. And how does this awareness manifest in the apocalypse? I mean, it's a pretty wild book.
Well, Price points to the opening verses, where Iowanis addresses the 7 societies in Asia. These societies, as we discussed, represent the 7 chakras.
Yeah.
And each receives a message tailored to its level of development.
Oh, so it's like each chakra has its own unique set of challenges and lessons to learn on this spiritual journey.
For example, the Society of Ephesus, associated with the sacral chakra, is warned against losing its first love, representing the initial connection to the divine.
So it's like a reminder to nurture that spiritual spark.
Exactly, to stay connected to that source, even as you navigate the ups and downs of life.
Yeah. And the Society of Smyrna, linked to the prostatic chakra, is praised for its endurance and patience in the face of adversity. So it's like recognizing that it's not always going to be easy. There are going to be balls in the road.
Resilience is key.
Yeah.
You have to be able to withstand the challenges and setbacks that inevitably come with spiritual growth.
Yeah, this is not a journey for the faint of heart.
It's not for the faint of heart.
And as you move up through the chakras, the challenges become more intense.
Right.
So what about that Society of Pergamos, the one associated with the epigastric plexus?
Right.
What message does it get?
Price points out that this society is warned against those who hold the teaching of Balaam. Yeah, who encourage the Israelites to sin.
All right.
It's a reminder to guard against negative influences and temptations that can derail us from our path.
So we have to be discerning, right? Choose our influences wisely.
Exactly.
And not get sidetracked by teachings or distractions that don't resonate with our truth.
Oh, precisely.
Yeah, and as we go higher to the Society of Thyatira, connected to the heart chakra, we encounter the figure of Jezebel.
Jezebel. Now, that's a name with some serious baggage.
It is.
And Price uses her to symbolize those who promote false teachings and engage in immoral practices, even under the guise of spirituality.
So it's like a warning about spiritual hypocrisy.
Oh, precisely.
The importance of walking the walk.
Exactly.
Not just talking the talk.
But as we continue through the society...
We see a progression of challenges and lessons, each building on the one before.
It's like a spiral staircase.
A perfect analogy.
Each step taking us higher,
but
requiring us to integrate what we learned on the previous level.
And as we reach the Society of Philadelphia, associated with the cavernous ganglion, we see a shift. This society is praised for its faithfulness and its commitment to guarding the arcane doctrine.
So it's like they've proven themselves worthy of receiving the higher teachings, the deeper mystery.
Exactly. And this brings us to the final society, Laodicea. Connected to the canarium, the pineal gland, or the third eye.
Okay, this is where things get really interesting.
Yeah. Sure.
We're talking about psychic abilities and spiritual vision here.
But priests point out that the society of Laodicea is rebuked for being lukewarm.
Lukewarm.
Neither hot nor cold. They're criticized for their complacency.
And lack of true spiritual zeal.
It's like they've reached a certain level of knowledge.
Exactly.
But haven't fully embodied it.
Precisely.
Haven't integrated it into their lives.
And this is a crucial point in the initiation process.
Right.
It's not enough to simply acquire knowledge.
Right.
You have to live it to embody it fully.
So it's a call to action.
Exactly.
To move beyond intellectual understanding and cultivate a genuine lived connection to the divine.
Exactly. And that's where the real work of initiation begins.
Okay.
The journey through the 7 societies sets the stage.
Right.
But the real transformation unfolds as we move deeper into the apocalypse's symbolism.
Okay.
Starting with the opening of the 7 seals.
Okay, so we've explored these 7 societies and their connection to the chakras.
Yeah.
What happens when those seals on the scroll are broken?
Pryes uses the dramatic imagery of the 7 seals being opened to illustrate the inner transformation that takes place. As we progress through the stages of initiation, each seal, as it's opened, reveals a new level of consciousness with its own challenges and triumphs.
So it's like peeling back the layers of our being.
I love that analogy.
Revealing the hidden potential within.
It captures the essence of what Pryes is describing.
Like those Russian nesting dolls.
Right.
Each one containing a smaller, more intricate version of itself.
Yeah, and each seal corresponds to a specific astrological sign and its associated cosmic forces.
So astrology plays a role in this initiation process too.
According to Pryes.
Yes. Wow, it's like we're weaving together all these different threads of ancient wisdom.
He believed the zodiac signs symbolize different aspects of our being, and that the cosmic energies they represent influence our spiritual development.
Wow. Okay, so can you give us a taste of how these astrological energies play out as the seals are broken?
Let's take the 2nd seal, for example. It's associated with Scorpio and unleashes war and conflict, symbolizing the inner battles we face as we confront our shadow selves.
So it's not about fighting external enemies.
Exactly.
But about facing our inner demons.
Yeah, the repressed emotions and negative tendencies we all carry within.
Right. So it's about acknowledging and integrating those shadow aspects of ourselves.
Exactly. Right.
Not trying to suppress them or deny them.
That makes sense.
And what about the 3rd seal? What challenges does that one bring?
The 3rd seal is linked to Sagittarius and brings famine and hardship, representing the spiritual trials and tests that refine our character.
So those challenges aren't punishments, but opportunities to grow, to strengthen our resolve and detach from material things.
They're like refining fires, burning away what's no longer serving us and revealing our true essence.
That's a powerful way to look at it.
It is.
And as each seal is broken, the challenges intensify, but so do the rewards, Correct. What about that 4th seal? What does it reveal?
The 4th seal is associated with Capricorn. And unleashes death and Hades.
Oh, wow.
Now, it's not about literal death.
Right.
But the symbolic death of the ego.
Okay.
A descent into the underworld of our unconscious.
Whoa, that sounds intense.
It is intense.
It's like a complete dismantling of our old identity.
Exactly.
Necessary step on the path to rebirth.
It's a shedding of the old self to make way for the new.
And this shedding continues with the 5th seal, right?
Yes, the 5th seal is linked to Aquarius. And reveals the souls of those who have been martyred for their beliefs.
Oh, wow.
It's a reminder of the sacrifices required on this path. The courage it takes to stand up for what you believe in.
So it's like a call to live authentically.
Exactly.
To align your actions with your values, even when it's difficult or unpopular.
Precisely.
And this leads us to the 6th seal associated with Pisces.
Yeah, this is...
Okay, I'm ready.
The opening of the seal unleashes a cosmic upheaval. Earthquakes. a darkening of the sun and moon.
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
This is the kind of imagery that gets people talking about the end of the world.
Right.
What's Price's take on this dramatic scene?
He interprets it as the awakening of the Kundalini energy, that serpent power we talked about, rising up the spine, activating the chakras, and leading to profound spiritual experiences.
So it's not the end of the world.
Right.
But the end of the world as we know it.
That's a great way to put it.
Like our whole reality is being shaken up.
Yeah, it's a pivotal moment in the initiation process.
Right.
A point of no return where the old reality crumbles to make way for the new.
Okay, so we've gone through the opening of the seals.
Right.
This profound inner transformation.
Yeah.
But the apocalypse doesn't end there, does it?
It doesn't.
What about those trumpets?
The trumpets.
Yeah. I'm guessing they don't signal a peaceful retreat.
You're right about that. The sounding of the 7 trumpets represents the next stage of initiation.
Oh.
And each trumpet unleashes a series of increasingly intense events.
Oh, wow.
Mirroring the inner turmoil and transformation taking place.
So it's like each trumpet blast is another level of this spiritual boot camp.
Exactly.
Pushing us further along the path.
Pushing us further along the path.
What kind of events are we talking about here?
Well, the first trumpet brings hail and fire,
Oak,
symbolizing the purification of the lower nature. The second unleashes a mountain of fire, representing the burning away of egoic attachments.
It's like a cosmic cleansing, a purging of everything that's no longer serving our spiritual growth.
Yeah, sounds intense.
And the third trumpet brings a falling star that poisons the waters, symbolizing the bitterness and disillusionment that can arise as we confront the limitations of the material world.
It's like realizing that true fulfillment
can't be found in external things.
Yeah, that's right.
It's about letting go of those attachments and turning inward.
Exactly. And as we move through the trumpets, the challenges become more intense, mirroring the increasing power of the Kundalini energy as it rises through the chakras.
So each blast of the trumpet is like a surge of Kundalini energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Pushing us further and further out of our comfort zone.
That's right.
What about that fourth trumpet? What does that one bring?
That one darkens the sun, moon, and stars, symbolizing a temporary loss of orientation and a descent into the darkness of the unconscious.
Oh, those like dark night of the soul experiences that people talk about.
Yeah, those times when everything feels uncertain and you're not sure which way to turn.
Right. But even though it's challenging, it's also a necessary stage of the process.
It is.
A time to confront our deepest fears and shadows.
Right. So it's about facing those dark parts of ourselves.
Yeah.
Not running away from them.
Exactly.
What about the fifth trumpet?
Okay.
Does it offer any relief from this descent into darkness?
I'm hoping.
Not quite.
Okay.
The fifth trumpet unleashes a plague of locusts. Symbolizing the onslaught of negative thought and emotions that can arise as we delve deeper into our subconscious.
So it's like facing all those repressed thoughts and feelings we've been avoiding.
Yeah.
All the demons we've kept locked away in the basement of our minds.
And it's not an easy battle.
I bet.
But as we confront these challenges, we gain strength and wisdom.
Right.
Okay, so we're in the thick of it now.
Yeah.
What about the sixth trumpet?
Right.
Does it offer any hope?
Hopefully.
The sixth trumpet unleashes an army of horsemen, which Price interprets as representing the forces of the higher mind coming to our aid.
So it's like reinforcements arrive.
Exactly.
Right when we need them most.
Right when we need them most.
Helping us overcome the challenges and continue our ascent.
It's a reminder that we're not alone on this journey.
Right.
That there are higher forces guiding and supporting us.
Like the cavalry charging in to save the day.
Exactly.
This is all incredibly intricate.
It is.
It's amazing how Price manages to weave together all these different elements into a coherent narrative of spiritual transformation.
It is a fascinating read.
Yeah. And this narrative reaches its climax with the sounding of the seventh trumpet.
The seventh trumpet, the big one.
The big one.
The one that signals the end of the world.
Yeah?
Not quite.
Oh.
Price interprets it as the awakening of the highest chakra, the crown chakra,
Okay.
and the full realization of our spiritual potential.
So not the end of the world, but the end of the old world.
Exactly.
And the birth of a new one.
It's the culmination of the initiation process.
Like a spiritual graduation ceremony.
Exactly.
This is so inspiring.
It is inspiring.
It makes you want to grab a trumpet and start blasting.
It does.
But I'm guessing there are still more challenges and trials ahead.
You're right.
Even after this spiritual awakening.
Prize highlights the symbolic battle
Okay.
between the woman, the dragon, and the man-child
Right.
as a key stage in this ongoing process of spiritual development.
Right. We touched on that earlier. The woman represents the divine light.
Yes.
The dragon, our lower nature.
That's right.
And the man-child, our spiritual self. Right.
Precisely. And Price points out that this battle represents the ongoing struggle between our higher and lower selves.
Right.
The constant choice we face between following the path of light or succumbing to the temptations of darkness.
It's like that old saying, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance.
Exactly.
We have to be constantly aware of our thoughts and actions.
Right.
Choosing love and wisdom over fear and ego.
Exactly. And in this ongoing battle, Prize emphasizes the importance of celibacy.
Celibacy. Now that's a curveball.
It is.
Why would that be important in this spiritual struggle?
It might seem unexpected.
It does.
But Prize believed that conserving sexual energy was essential for spiritual development. He saw it as a way to redirect that energy upwards, fueling the awakening of the Kundalini and the higher chakras.
So it's not about suppressing sexuality, but transforming it, channeling it into spiritual growth.
And Prize connects this to the idea of the two witnesses in the apocalypse.
The two witnesses.
Who represent the Ida and Pingala.
Ida and Pingala.
Two energy channels that flow along the spine and converge at the third eye.
So it's about balancing and harmonizing these energies within ourselves to awaken our spiritual vision.
Right, like creating a circuit for that Kundalini energy to flow freely.
This harmonization is essential as we face the final challenges of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
The rise of the beast and the false prophet.
These tricky characters.
Right? The beast represents our lower mind.
Yes.
And the false prophet represents the generative principle.
Precisely.
Or a lack of self-control.
And Price describes how they work together to deceive humanity, leading them astray with false promises and material temptations.
They represent the forces of materialism and ego.
Exactly.
That keep us trapped in that cycle of suffering.
Yeah, right.
So they're trying to lure us off the path and back into the darkness.
Exactly. And the mark of the beast symbolizes a surrender to these forces, a loss of our spiritual connection.
So it's a warning to stay true to our higher selves.
Exactly.
Resist those temptations of the material world and focus on cultivating our spiritual connection.
Precisely. And this resistance leads to the final battle. The showdown between the forces of light and darkness.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Who wins this cosmic battle?
The forces of light, of course.
Of course.
Price describes the triumphant return of the Lamb, representing the Christ consciousness, and the final defeat of the beast and the false prophet.
So good triumphs over evil.
It does.
And the path of spiritual awakening leads to ultimate victory.
That's the idea. But this victory is not a passive one.
Right. It requires effort.
It does.
Dedication and a willingness to confront our shadow selves.
Yes. It's a journey of transformation.
Right.
A process of shedding the old and embracing the new.
So it's not a one-time event.
Exactly.
But an ongoing process of growth and evolution.
And this transformation culminates in the creation of a new universe, as described in the final chapters of the Apocalypse.
Right, we talked about that earlier. The new universe represents our perfected spiritual body. The aura radiating with divine light.
It's the realization of our full potential. The culmination of the initiation process.
And this realization is also described as a second birth, right?
Precisely.
A spiritual rebirth.
Yeah, a liberation from the cycle of death and rebirth. Emerging with the divine source.
Wow. This is heavy stuff.
It is.
It's like Price has given us a whole new language for understanding the apocalypse.
Yes.
Not as a prophecy of doom, but as a guide to spiritual enlightenment.
And while his interpretation is complex and layered, it ultimately offers a message of hope and empowerment. It reminds us that we have the power to create our own reality, choose the path of light, and awaken to our true divine nature.
It's a powerful message that resonates deeply.
It does.
Even centuries after the apocalypse was written.
And Price's work reminds us that these ancient texts hold profound wisdom and guidance for us, even today.
This has been an incredible journey so far.
It has.
But I know there's still more to explore.
There is.
What other insights does Prize offer about this path of spiritual transformation?
In the next segment, we'll delve into some of the specific practices and techniques Prize recommends for those seeking to embark on this path of spiritual awakening.
Okay. I'm definitely ready to get practical.
He draws on a variety of traditions, including yoga, meditation, and esoteric Christianity, to offer practical tools for navigating inner transformation.
After all this talk of cosmic battles and spiritual awakenings, I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and see what this path actually looks like.
Let's do it.
So we've explored all this symbolism in the apocalypse. The challenges of spiritual initiation. But what about, like, the actual tools and techniques? What did Prize recommend for people who want to actually awaken this spiritual potential within themselves?
Well, Prize was all about practical application.
Okay.
He didn't just want to interpret the apocalypse. He wanted people to use it as a guide for real inner transformation. And he drew from a variety of ancient traditions to give people concrete practices to work with.
So it's not just about decoding the symbols. It's about actually putting this wisdom into practice.
That's right.
Interesting. So what are some of these practices?
Well, one of the most fundamental practices Prize highlights is breathwork.
Breathwork, okay.
Or pranayama, as it's known in yoga. He talks about the power of the breath to regulate your energy and connect with the life force within.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's something we often take for granted.
We do.
But it's so essential to life.
Yeah. And Prize believed that by consciously controlling your breath, you can influence your mental and emotional states, even your spiritual state of being.
So it's like using the breath as a bridge.
A perfect analogy.
Between the physical and the spiritual.
Yes. And he points to the 7 breaths in the apocalypse as symbolic representations of different pranayama techniques.
So even the biblical text,
Prize believed that the apocalypse
contains hints about these ancient practices.
Was packed with encoded wisdom just waiting to be unlocked.
Wow. Okay, so breathwork is key. What other techniques did Prize recommend?
He also emphasized meditation, particularly focusing your attention on the chakras, visualizing their awakening, and the flow of Kundalini energy.
It sounds a lot like what people do in Kundalini yoga today.
It is very similar. Prize was drawing on these ancient traditions and integrating them into his understanding of the apocalypse. He believed that by meditating on these energy centers, you can activate their dormant potential and accelerate your spiritual growth.
So you're using the power of your mind to work with this energy inside you.
Yeah, almost like a sculptor shaping clay.
Yeah.
And Prize also mentioned using mantras, sacred sounds, to enhance these practices. He highlighted the AUM, the primordial sound of creation, as a powerful tool for awakening spiritual awareness.
So we've got breathwork, meditation, mantras.
It's like building a toolkit for spiritual transformation.
It is. It is.
That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
And Prize also believed that living a virtuous life, cultivating qualities like compassion, kindness, and humility was essential for spiritual progress.
So it's not just about the techniques.
That's right.
But about who you are as a person.
Exactly.
How you treat yourself and others.
He believed your actions had a direct impact on your spiritual development.
Yeah.
He saw the apocalypse as a call to live a life of integrity, to align your actions with your highest aspirations.
So it's a holistic approach to spiritual growth.
Precisely.
Both inner and outer transformation.
Yes. And while these practices are powerful, Prize didn't believe you had to go it alone. He emphasized the importance of community, connecting with like-minded individuals who could support and encourage each other on this journey.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like anything else.
It is.
Having a support system can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're trying to make big changes in your life.
And Prize believed the true church, the true community of spiritual seekers, wasn't confined to a building or an institution. It existed wherever people gathered to seek truth, to awaken to their higher selves, and to live in alignment with the divine.
It's a reminder that spirituality is not about dogma or ritual, but about a direct experience of the divine.
That's what Prize believed the apocalypse was truly about. Not a prophecy of doom, but a call to awaken to this reality, to embrace our spiritual potential and create a new world based on love, wisdom, and compassion.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
Apocalypse Unsealed has given us a whole new way to look at this ancient text.
It's definitely a challenging,
that ourselves,
but ultimately rewarding journey.
It is.
This path of spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
And Prize offers a profound and insightful guide for anyone ready to embark on this adventure.
It's a reminder that the apocalypse isn't a tale of destruction.
Right.
But a story of transformation.
Exactly.
A blueprint for unlocking our hidden potential.
Yes.
And creating a new world, both within ourselves and around us.
That's the idea.
Yeah, that's a powerful message to end on.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Apocalypse Unsealed.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all of you listening out there, if you feel called to explore the deeper meaning of the apocalypse, to unlock the mysteries of your own being, and to embark on this journey of spiritual transformation, Price's Apocalypse Unsealed is an incredible resource.
It's a great starting point.
Keep exploring.
Yeah.
Keep questioning.
Keep digging.
And keep seeking the truth that sets you free.
Absolutely.